Hello, I'm currently at Rwanda for my break, and I just want to share with us some life lessons I learned while hiking on the Napoleon Hill via the Kivu River. We passed through the Kivu River to the Napoleon Hill. It was a very amazing experience, and if there's anything I learned, I think the first thing that it taught me is that life is not always what you think it is. From while we're on the river looking at the mountain looked very pleasing, really pretty, and then we saw people on top of the mountain. They were like, "Oh my gosh, so nice!" Until you start climbing. The mountain is pretty until you start climbing, and it just taught me about how that people see people's lives and I just think that, oh, they're having all the fun in the world, but it's not always what you think it is. It was pretty until we start climbing. Climbing was a lot. There was cow dung, there was rocks that we had to avoid, I had to ensure we don't fall. I actually fell at some point. That's something I learned. The second thing I learned was that as long as you follow the path of those that have gone ahead of you, you will be fine. So one of the things I did was to follow the path of those. So as long as the road we were passing on was not the first time that road is being plied. So as long as you stayed on the path, you will be fine. The moment you go out of the path, you would lose your way. So what did I learn from that? One life lesson I learned from that was that as long as you're not the first to do what you're doing, you're not the first to currently do what you're doing, you will do well if you learn to learn from mentors and people who have gone ahead of you in the field that you're currently in. The third thing I learned on this trip was that don't get comfortable. When we got to the neck of the hill, we wanted to get comfortable because we have tried. We had a very lovely view to look at, but that was not the end. I remember that at some point one of us wanted to stop, and we all just kept pushing that. You've gotten here already, just get to the top. There's this syndrome of us wanting to be comfortable where we are, especially when we've gotten to some certain heights. But there's a top you need to get to, and you need to get there. After hiking this mountain, it really taught me that I am a finisher. That if I set my heart to do something, I will get to the end. So those are the three life lessons I learned while hiking on the Napoleon Hill. I hope you've learned something, and if you're going to visit in Kigali soon, you should definitely check out the Napoleon Hill. Thank you and bye.